Then there is and that is my final point, a larger problem that originates from the fossil record. And that is something that I'm currently working on as a research project, and it's the so-called waiting time problem. So I already said that the fossil record is usually considered as best evidence for Darwin's theory because it establishes intermediate forms and long periods of time, millions of years. And on the and macroevolution, the major transitions. And on the other hand, you have population genetics, and there you can observe evolution in the lab. You have origin of drug resistance in germs in a petri dish, for example. And then people say, well, we have evidence for microevolution in the lab, and we have the evidence from the fossil record for macroevolution and for long periods of time. And if you multiply a lot of micro with these long periods of time, then you have an explanation for macroevolution. Actually, if you combine these two disciplines, the established windows of time for major transitions in the fossil record, for example, the window of time from a quadrupedal assumed ancestor of marine whales to the first fully marine dolphin-like whales. And you look at this window of time, and then you use the methodological apparatus of population genetics. There's a real mathematical apparatus there where you can do calculations and you can put numbers into this whole thing, and these numbers don't have to be speculated. We can make estimates on the population size of a larger mammal species that existed at this time. It certainly was not the population size of mosquitoes today, and it was probably not the population size of the giant panda. So it was somewhere in between. And we can estimate the generation time for a whale-like ancestor. It certainly was not in the minute realm like bacteria, but rather several years and so on. So you could put these numbers into the formula apparatus, and what you consistently find is that the times that you require for the necessary genetic changes to make these kind of re-engineerings of the body plan, to not only originate in the ancestral population, but also to spread in the ancestral population, which is required to make it a new feature, a new trait of this species. These waiting times, these two waiting times, are orders of magnitude longer than the available windows in the fossil record. And this is a mathematical problem, basically refuting the feasibility of the neo-Darwinian mechanism.